Let's move on to our fifth and final main topic today. Chris, what is our fifth and final main topic today?
Last question is from Geeky Gator. Hey, John and gang. Neil Patrick Harris was cast in apparently a, quote, key role in Matrix 4. This casting seems odd to me because I always see Harris as comedic. What do you think of the casting? How do you feel about NPH?
Listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Look, we know we're going to be getting some Fast and Furious kind of casting announcements for Matrix 4. As a matter of fact, they're even it looks like Jada Pinkett Smith is going to come back. What was her name in it? Niobe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was great in that. I liked her in that. Will didn't join it, but she did. So that's exciting too. If you were to have given me a list, Rob, of like 10 to, or asked me to put together a list of 20 names of people that I think potentially we could hear this week that is joining the Matrix, Neil Patrick Harris would not have been one of the names on that list. Not at all. So I'm going to tell you this. Yeah, this is a little bit of a surprising bit of news to me. That said, Neil Patrick Harris is a great performer. He's a great performer. I don't know the script. Maybe whatever character it is he's playing, if we had read the script, maybe would have gone, Neil Patrick Harris is the guy to play this. Let's go get. I mean, we just don't know at this point. So I acknowledge it's a big surprise. But remember this too. Actors, at least the good ones, they embark on a bit of a journey of their own evolution. Like, I remember when Philadelphia was coming out with Tom Hanks. And whereas today everybody thinks of Tom Hanks, yes, one of the great thespians of our age. One of the most celebrated actors in Hollywood. Before Philadelphia, he was that guy from Joe and the Volcano. He was the dude from Bosom Buddies. I mean, he was this comedic yuck guy. And then he forced himself to stretch, was in Philadelphia, won the Academy Award for Best Actor in Philadelphia. And then, oh, by the way, pulled off one of the rarest of feats ever. The very next year, won Best Lead Actor again. 2 years in a row. The Bosom Buddies guy won the Academy Award 2 years in a row. Just because we've already seen somebody do one thing does not mean they're necessarily excluded from doing another. And again, we don't know the script. For all we know, this character is a perfect fit for Neil Patrick Harris. Who knows? He's not the lead character in the movie. They are calling it a key role, but clearly it's not the lead, not when you got Keanu Reeves in there. So I'll tell you what, is this a name I would have guessed was going to come up in a Matrix 4 conversation? No. But am I good with it? He's a completely talented dude. I trust them with their casting right now. So, yeah, sign me up. I'm down for it. Rob, what was your first reaction when you heard about Neil Patrick Harris joining Matrix 4?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, he was pretty good in Gone Girl, playing a pretty dramatic role.
Yes, he did.
Smarmy guy that well, I don't want to spoil anything, but he was really good in that. Starship Troopers, getting into games in theory, becoming a jackbooted, Nazi in the future. I've always loved Neil. I was a Doogie Howser fan, when it first came on the air. I've always loved Neil Patrick Harris. I think that maybe he's the new Mr. Agent Smith. Maybe he's the new. Who knows? I mean, I'm curious. We're 15 years on. He could be a character that only exists in the Matrix, just like Agent Smith did before he was able to cross over. I mean, I see the potential, and I'm excited by it. I love when anybody thinks out of the box. The Wachowskis were always really great when it came to casting, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this movie.
Yeah, a lot of people forget. I mean, Neil Patrick Harris had kind of started to disappear from the pop cultural consciousness until Harold and Kumar came along, where he did this incredible. Where now everybody does it today. Everybody will play a funny version of themselves in a thing. We've seen what's his name?
James Vanderbeek.
James Vanderbeek
on Don't Trust the Bee
has done that. We've seen other people do that as well, where they play. We just saw Keanu Reeves do it in Always Be My Maybe, where he plays an extremely comedic version of himself. I mean, but remember, it was Neil Patrick Harris that kind of, laid the groundwork for that. Now, some might say, well, Shatner was doing that before already. There's an argument for that too. But Neil Patrick Harris, that's where he really became solidified in that. Anyway, Chris, let me ask you this. You now see this news, Neil Patrick Harris, Matrix 4. Is it a wow moment or is it a what? kind of like, what is it for you when you saw that?
It was a what that turned into a wow. Because I love me some NPH, and I'm so glad you brought up Gone Girl, Rob, because that was my first thought too. Was okay, so we're getting him breaking out of his shell more. We're getting those other roles that he's done because he has had a pretty versatile career since his Doogie Howser days. I mean, he was on Law and Order: Criminal Intent at one point too, so he really can do that. He was in Hedwig and the Angry Itch, which has a lot of heavy stuff in it. He's got the chops. He has incredible movement training, so I'm very excited to see the kind of fight scenes that he's going to be part of. That wire work with Neil Patrick Harris, get on out of here.
I mean, look, it's interesting, but again, I don't want to get too excited nor too turned off when I simply don't know the script or the character.
Very true.
Right.
Because maybe I'll see the character and go, wow, no, Patrick Harris was not the right guy for this, or maybe there was nobody else in the world for it. That's it, guys. Listen, don't lie. Come on, you guys were at least a little bit surprised to see Neil Patrick Harris's name brought up. I was. But I'm warmed up to it. Are you at this point, or do you have some concerns? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.